Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry if I laugh or I smile. I'm just outside Element Games ready for the Sunday Warboot, and Suzanne's with me, obviously to supervise, and she's sat here giggling because I'm recording something, right? So I just thought, quickly, whilst I'm here, we've got time to burn. We're here super early. We went and got our sausage and egg muffins, coffee and all that type of stuff, and we're loading up prior to unpacking. But yeah, we're one of the first ones here, and we did that on purpose just so that, it's the first time we've done it, right? I'm not sure how they set it up. I don't know whether or not the tables are pre-laid, but I just wanted to get in, get early, get settled, and like mentally prepare for what could be a busy day. And like I've mentioned in past videos, like if we if we make back the ticket price, I'm happy. I have no real expectation for this, so just make a day of it type of thing, right? I think this is all. I might splice in some B-roll of footage from the actual event if I manage to get any, if it's not too busy. And then the next time you see me, it'll probably be Tuesday on this video, because Monday I'm having some tooth extracted, and then on the Tuesday I'll have I would have had time to decompress and organize my thoughts and stuff like that. So yeah, let's hope it's a good day. See you later. Good morning everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the store in handheld mode. So I'll just put it up there up front. I'm probably going to sit down tomorrow or the day after this video goes live to answer some of the questions that people have been putting up in response to some videos. So a bit of a Q&A, like I mentioned in the last video. So if you've got any questions that you're really dying to have answered, then let me know in the comments below, and make it sharpish, because I'll be filming that tomorrow, right? And yeah, got loads of questions so far. Some are going to be, a lot of them are of the same thing, right? Obviously, how do I get started, so on and so forth. I will try my best to answer them. There'll be some things, again, I can't talk about, but I will try my utmost to cascade as much information as I can. So yeah, in this video, we'll go over what happened, how was last week, how was the weekend, more importantly, and some other bits and bobs. So let's get started. So how did last week end? Well, Friday and Saturday were awesome. Saturday being our biggest day so far. Now, don't get me wrong, that's probably not going to last forever, right? Some events on Saturdays and stuff as mundane as the weather can affect, people's trajectory for the day, right? And whether or not they pass by the store. Plus stuff like new releases and all that jazz will affect it. So don't get me wrong, every time a new Saturday comes, we're 3 Saturdays in now, every time there's a new Saturday I'm thinking, oh, will it be good or bad? So, but last week, Friday and Saturday were really good, so cannot complain about that at all. So the pre-order system that we put up last week seems to be working. So as you now know, the Kill Team is slated for release at the end of the month. A new Kill Team box, Typhoon with the Goremongers, the Sanctifiers, the data cards. So I made a small order for stuff from that to test the waters with pre-orders. So somebody pre-ordered the Typhoon box set, thank you very much. And we also had a pre-order for the Night Ruinator. Somebody came into the store, looked at it. If you're watching this video, I hope you enjoy your Ruinator when it's released, right? Because it's still there. We're not giving stuff away early, so don't ask. So, that was really cool. And we've also had a pre-order for the new Halo Flashpoint box set that comes out at the end of July, if I remember right. So the system works. We've still got some Sanctifiers and Goremonger boxes and data cards left. So, yeah, and as well as, I think another Halo Flashpoint box set that comes out at the end of July, available as well. So have a mooch. I've also done my pre-orders for the week. I've got my allocation for the next round of pre-orders from GW, which I think should be going live in a week or so. This one's really exciting. I know a lot of people are going to be really excited for this. I'm excited for this, so I can't wait to put them to let them go live and see how they do. And I've put a bigger order in for that stuff as well, because the system works now. So where am I going to store all these pre-orders? You know, I'll talk about that momentarily. So yes, Friday, Saturday, pre-orders, all good. What's next? The Warboot, the Element Games Warboot that we went to on Sunday. First of all, thank you to the people who approached me at the Warboot saying they've seen my YouTube videos, very positive reactions and stuff like that. That was really cool. You know who you are. And it was, you know, some people as well, they purchased from us who had seen the YouTube video. So, you know, this seems to work. So thank you for that. And again, thanks to all the people who leave the positive comments. They were super motivating. And people, feel free to leave, you know, constructive criticism as well. You know, some of the stuff is absolutely right. Some of the stuff we've tried, some, you know, it's just out of our hands, we can't do, just given the situation of what this business is. But yeah, the Warboot went really well. It blasted my expectations out of the water personally. It wasn't as busy as the Warboot we went to last time when we were customers, but it was still very, very busy, right? So I was just hoping to get my ticket back. We did nearly 20 times that. So yeah, no complaints. I thought we didn't have enough stock to take, but actually we filled the table. And one thing that proved really popular was some of our misprints. I called them epic fails, right? And we had them in different scales: small, medium, large, and epic scale. So I think we were selling the small for £1, the medium for £2, the large for £5, and the epic scale ones for 15. You know, the £15 ones might be a bit of a hard sell, but we sold loads of the £1 and £2 ones, which was super cool. It's the type of thing, actually, most people will probably pick them up and be like, what's wrong with this? It looks fine to me. But it might be like, you know, this little flat spot, you know, it might be missing a finger or a claw, or a tooth or something like that, you know. But all in all, that was a last minute addition really to the Warboot, and it was amazing. Did really well. We sold some mystery bags, we sold a couple of boxed items, we sold a Combat Patrol magazine, we sold some clearance stock and paint. So yeah, I was very happy with it. You know, we brought a lot of it back, right? Because we actually overloaded. We had a 6x4 table, and yeah, it was crammed. You can see on our TikTok channel. So yeah, we're on TikTok now. Suzanne does that. I'm not very TikTok savvy, but you can see the table. And also I'll splice in a little bit of video where you can see, you know, how busy it was. This was before opening, by the way. I didn't actually take any B-roll whilst it was open because it was just very busy, even though it wasn't as busy as the last one. So that kind of, and it was an all-day thing. It was from, we started unpacking and loading. We got there super early, as you probably saw in the beginning of this video, right? And we unpacked around about 8:30, and then from then till about, I want to say midday 1, it was busy, and then it died a death. We stayed till about 2:30, which was a good shout, because that last hour we actually did half of our revenue then. And then we packed up and left at around about 3:30ish, I want to say. So yeah, the Warboot was positive. I was on my feet 95% of the time, and I enjoyed it. So I crashed when I got home, type of thing, after unloading everything. I think that takes a lot out of you, going up and down the stairs. If people go to Element Games, you know what that's like in Stockport. Now imagine that with stock in your hands, right? So we crashed, but I would do other events on a Sunday. And I think that might be a thing to latch on to, purely because we're always going to be shut on a Sunday. You know, talking about opening times briefly, I'm going to inquire about opening later on other days and potentially seeing whether or not it's viable to open on a Sunday. But it being a council-owned building, and I'm not the only tenant in here, it might be the case where, yes, you can do it, but everybody's rent rises, and for people who might not want to do it, it might not be worth it, right? But I'm gonna plant that seed and ask that question and see where that goes. But I'll talk more about that type of stuff in my Q&A video. Anywho, Warboot, back to that. Yeah, we brought some of the misprints and epic fails back with us. They're in the store now, so people can come in, and if they want a very, very cheap miniature, you know, if they can decipher what's up with it, then good luck to that. There's some of them which just look like clean miniatures, you know what I mean? Others, like I say, are a bit less ambiguous as to why it's broken, but, you know, they're too good to throw away, I feel. Anyway, moving on from that. So, the start of this week, so yesterday, Monday, I had to go to the dentist, get some extraction work done in preparation for fixing this gap. But it's going to be like 3 months now. I don't know why I'm telling you about my dental plans, but one person asked at the Warboot and another person asked as well in a video. So yeah, I'm going to get this fixed. It's just it needs to heal now. It needs 3 months to heal, and then I go back for a checkup, and then that work gets underway. So it could be 3-4 months before it's actually done. But touch wood, it heals correctly and all that type of stuff, and I can get it fixed. Moving on, Monday was our first 0 day. Being fully transparent with you, I was expecting this to happen at some point, and if it was ever going to happen, just given my experience in working in retail in the past, the 3rd and 4th week, typically in a month before payday, are the biggest dips in revenue. So I was thinking if we're going to have a 0 day, it would be the Monday and Tuesday of this week. Given that, you know, the Warhammer store is closed on a Monday and Tuesday. Some stores in here, or the other 2 active stores in here are closed, I believe, on a Monday, Tuesday. You know, the shutters are down at the front. And Warrington is just a ghost town on a Monday and a Tuesday. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if it's another slow day today. But that's fine. I was aware that there was going to be probably a 0 day. But our weekend was so strong that it doesn't really matter. Plus, I'm kind of thinking that could be an opportunity to set, you know, I could do painting lessons and stuff like that on a Monday, or I can re-merch the store, or put listings up. You know, that's the admin time as well, potentially. So yesterday, put loads of listings up for some of the new stuff we're going to get. I've still got some more to do, but Monday provided an opportunity to get some of that done rather than me having to, well, I did do it out of hours at home as well, but I would have had to do more of it if it was busy, if that makes sense. So yeah, I expect today to be slow, and tomorrow and Thursday, and then to pick up Friday, Saturday. So that seems to be the way it's going at the moment. And then Sundays provide an opportunity for me to then either do some personal work or go to events or do other stuff that might promote the store. One thing I'm thinking about, and I'd like your feedback on this, is I was inspired by a Tronics Fix video. If anybody's seen Tronics Fix, he's a guy who, you know, fixes like, you know, game consoles and laptops and stuff like that. And in one of his videos, he fixes like a bunch of iPads, and then he goes to a car park somewhere with a sign that says free iPads. And he gives the iPads away. You know, people are on video, they sign an NDA or you know, not an NDA, like a release agreement so that they can be on video and stuff. And they give the iPads away. You know, they pick a number from 1 to 18, I think it was, 1 to 16. And they were giving these iPads away. Cool video. I was thinking of doing something similar with miniatures. More along the lines of like, we go and park up at a local car park for a few hours. You know, I can scribble away on my iPad, I can still get some stuff done. But if anybody comes up with, you know, the Instagram or the YouTube video where I've announced what it is we're doing, and they've liked and subscribed and all that type of stuff, then they'll get a free miniature in return. And you know, we can put that on TikTok, we can put that on Instagram and all that type of stuff. It gets our name out locally, but it gives us some social media stuff to do. Plus we get to give away some miniatures. People get to, you know, partake in the hobby. And some people might not otherwise be able to do that. So I might do that. What do people think about that? Is that stupid? Or, you know, could it be a good little test or social experiment, right? So yeah, anyway, where was I? Monday was slow. Did some stuff though yesterday. I'll take you now to go and have a look at it. So I moved the store around again. And yeah, I think it works. It's a little bit of a mess at the moment. I'm going to do some tidying before I actually open, just to clean it up a little bit. But I think this layout might help. But I'd like to get your thoughts. I'm just going to turn the camera around and then I'll walk around the store and just show you what's going on, right? So with the wide angle on, so this is what the store looks like now. Yep. So much of the same on this side. Nothing's really changed. We've changed the Kallax unit here to be the smaller one on the back side of it. So you come in, so there's this here, it looks a bit fuller now. And then you turn left and this is, you know, on the window side of it. It's all paints and hobby tools here now, right? So it looks a bit more, I don't know, condensed. It's all in one place. You can come round, it continues there. Yep. There we have it. On this side, the remainder of the hobby stuff, tools. And then we go on to the D&D and our Epics'N'Stuffs miniatures. That's going to be for some upcoming stock, this bit here. Again, still going to get the GW paint rack at some point. Where that goes, it will either go there or on the end here. And then I'll put back, that's where all the GW stuff is going for now. Yeah, still got plenty of room to move into. It means people can stand back from the shelf, right, and look down at it, as opposed to, you know, being right up close to the shelf and looking down. And then the painting table is here across from my own table, which means I can utilize the light at the same time, but I can sit at the painting table there and people. Yeah, so that's the painting table. I need to clear that in a moment. We've got the remainder of the clearance stuff, and then if we go over here, this is where, for the time being, I've put like all those Fairly prints and stuff like that. We're gonna put like pre-orders up here, and eventually like new releases will probably go there when that stock gets condensed into there. Yeah, and I'm making some space in here to put like actual, I mean the pre-orders can just stay on the shelf, right? You can see the Typhon box there and the Ruinator and stuff. They can stay there, but stuff that we're allowed to have on display and pre-order can go on those shelves, I guess, or maybe on top of the glass racks here. Anywho, let's turn this back round. So what do you think to the revised layout? I'm sure this is not like the last iteration of it whatsoever. Like I said, I want to get that GW rack with those paints on it at some point and pop that in. So yeah, it's been a super interesting weekend. I can't wait to sit down and answer those questions as well, right? That should be cool. I might do some painting as I do that. So yeah, moving on from that, what do I expect from this week? I'm hoping, you know, when the new pre-order, I think, goes live at the end of this week, I'm hoping that drums up some hype and some business, because I know I'm excited for it. And then this will be like the first weekend that we've had a pre-order set up for somebody to come in and collect. So, you know, to be fair, it's just one item that went through. But there's some new releases now, if that makes sense. The new releases from GW anyway are starting to happen now in the store. So the hope is when those items are released, they bring people into store. Yeah, that makes sense. And because of this, the website is obviously getting chunkier with more stock on it. I need to pinch myself to put more of my own stock on there. But yeah, everything's just evolving and being chipped at slowly, right? So yeah, that is that. I'll probably leave it there because I believe this is quite a chunky video already, right? So we've talked about a lot, and I do want to leave a chunk of stuff for those. It's probably going to be 2 Q&A videos purely because some questions are going to be quite dense to answer. So you know, I might start with the big ones and then, you know, sprinkle a few of the smaller ones in there. But if you've got any questions, then be sure, again, put them in the comments below. And they can be anything, right? Why do I wear a hat? You know, what's my favourite toothpaste? Anything related to the business, the hobby, you know, the sculpting I do, whatever, then put it in in the comments below. And I think that is where I'll leave it. But before you tune out, again, commenting, liking, subscribing, anything like that helps massively. And we've had loads of new subscribers recently, which is helping the channel a huge amount. And the amount of watch hours that have gone in will mean that the channel can move up to the next level. And I can tick off a few of my goals for the year, which would be awesome. And maybe we could talk about that, you know, in a video at some point as well, which could be fun. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, thanking you in advance for any of that help. Go onto the website. Again, we've got new items for pre-order now. We've got new stock coming in all the time. So have a look, see if anything tickles your fancy. And, you know, people have reached out to me already, you know, asking if I've got XYZ in stock or is it coming. You know, I am beholden on distributors as to whether or not they've got stock levels. And I try my best to answer, like, you know, bear with us, because it's just me, and Suzanne does a little bit of other stuff like deliveries and social media. But you know, it is me who does this mainly. So I'm not only here at the store looking after the business, getting new stock, running it, doing my commissions, doing my Patreon listing on my manufacturer, starting to kickstart. You know what I mean? I'm being pulled in many directions, which is super fun, by the way. So just bear with me if you do ask a question regarding stock or something in store. I will try my best to answer. Okay. The best place to do that is the contact form on our website, because I monitor that email address all the time. So yeah, if you've got a question about the business or about something business related, that's the best place to reach me. On the website, so speaking of the website, www.epics'n'stuffs.com. Jump on there. Again, the range is growing all the time. If you buy something from us, it supports us directly, plus you get a product in return. And it's the same with Patreon. If you jump onto Patreon, you become a member, you can do it for free. I've just launched, I've just given out another, I think it's 10 free miniatures for the month on STL files. Jump on there, you can get those STL files for free. The monthly releases only stay on there until the end of the month, and then they disappear, then they become paid. So jump on there now, get them for free if you want. And if you want to support the channel monetarily that way, you know, pledges start at £1 a month. So, and if you want to sell the results of those models, then there's merchant tiers for that. Very reasonable ones. Meant for companies or people that do this for, like, you know, tabletop events or Etsy's and stuff like that. If you're looking to sell on a brick and mortar store, because we've had that question, then contact us directly, because we can start distributing our own models. I think that would be fun. We have like a select list of our best sellers, which you can, you know, look into purchasing from us. We'll send them in a box and all this type of stuff, and then you can resell them in your store. So there's that. My manufacturer. Oh God, there's everything. Just check the links below, right? And any engagement is positive engagement. Thanking you very much. Wow, what an outro. And I'm just going to leave it there. So have fun, take care, speak soon, see you in the next video.